Welcome back, the rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Abraham Lincoln wheat pennies and rare Lincoln wheat cents. But not just any coins, we're talking about the ones that sold for thousands of dollars at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1920 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. But this isn't just any penny, this one is special because it doesn't have a mint mark, and it's in fine condition. So, how much could this iconic coin be worth in today's market? Let's find out. First, let's take a quick look at the coin itself. The 1920 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in copper and features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. On the reverse, you'll see the two wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent. It's a piece of history that collectors love. But when it comes to determining the value, a few key factors come into play. Now, when we talk about fine condition, we're referring to a coin that has clear details and no major wear, but might show some light wear on the high points of the design. It's not perfect, but it still holds significant value to collectors. So, what's this penny worth today? In today's market, a 1920 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark in fine condition, typically ranges from about 125 to 130 in value. This might not sound like much, but it's important to note that the value can increase depending on the coin's exact grade, its overall appearance, and demand from collectors. While the 1920 penny without a mint mark is relatively common compared to some other rarer dates, it still holds historical value, especially when it's in fine condition. The value also increases if the coin has been well preserved and has minimal signs of wear. Collectors love finding coins like this one because it's a piece of early 20th century American history. If you happen to have one in your collection, it could be a nice addition to your portfolio of rare coins. Next up today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1924 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. But this isn't just any ordinary penny. This one has a unique black color shade and is in good condition. So, how much is this penny worth in today's market? Let's break it down. Now, at first glance, you may notice something different about this coin. The black color shade. This can be a result of environmental factors like oxidation or the coin's exposure to certain chemicals over time. While the color might not be the original appearance of the coin, it gives the penny a unique, distinct look that some collectors actually find appealing. When we talk about a coin being in good condition, we're referring to a penny that still shows clear details of the design, but may have some moderate wear. You'll notice some of the finer details might be a bit worn down, but the key features are still clearly visible. Now, let's talk about the value of this 1924 Lincoln wheat penny in today's market. In today's market, a 1924 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition typically ranges from $30 to $0. While this isn't necessarily a high-value coin, its worth still reflects its historical significance and demand among collectors. Keep in mind, the value can fluctuate based on factors like the coin's color, wear, and overall demand from buyers. The black color shade could either enhance or detract from the value, depending on the perspective of potential buyers. Some collectors enjoy the coin's unique patina, while others might prefer a more traditionally colored penny. The good condition of this coin means it's still a valuable addition to any collection, but the black shade may impact the value slightly compared to a more standard-looking penny. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1924 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition with that black shade, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Its value may not be in the tens or hundreds of dollars like some rarer coins, but it's still a wonderful example of early 20th century American coinage. Next up, the 1911 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. This iconic penny with no mint mark is a collector's dream. But what is it worth in today's market? Let's dive in and find out. First, let's take a closer look at the 1911 Lincoln wheat penny. It features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat stalks on the reverse. The coin was minted in copper, and it's one of the key dates in the Lincoln wheat series. But here's the twist, this one has no mint mark, making it a unique piece among its counterparts. When we say this penny is in fine condition, we're talking about a coin that shows clear details with only light wear to the high points. It's not in perfect mint condition, but the details are still sharp enough that you can easily make out the important features. This grade puts the coin in a good spot for both collectors and investors. Now the big question: what is this 1911 Lincoln Wheat penny worth today? In fine condition, a 1911 penny without a mint mark typically sells for around $175 to $300. It's not an extremely rare coin, but it holds significant value due to its age, historical importance, and demand among collectors. Of course, this value can fluctuate depending on the coin's exact condition and any potential market shifts. Although the 1911 Lincoln Wheat penny isn't as rare or highly priced as some of the other Lincoln pennies, it's still a noteworthy coin, especially in fine condition. If you find one in your collection, it's worth taking good care of it. And if you're thinking about selling, the current market value makes it an appealing coin for collectors looking to complete their set. So, there you have it. While a 1911 Lincoln Wheat penny, without a mint mark in fine condition, won't break the bank, it's still a valuable piece of American numismatic history. And as always, the true value of any coin is determined by the collector's interest and the overall market demand. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 1911 Lincoln Wheat penny is a fantastic addition to any collection. Its classic design and historical significance make it a coin worth holding on to. Next up, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny. You might think a 1957 penny. That's not old enough to be super valuable, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye, especially when it's in extra fine condition. Here's the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse, the iconic wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent. It was minted in copper, just like its predecessors, but what makes this one stand out is its condition. This one is without a mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. When we talk about extra fine condition, we're talking about a coin that's seen very little wear, and the details are almost sharp as if it were just freshly struck. You'll still see some light wear on the high points, but the design is crisp and the coin still has a beautiful luster. It's a pretty special condition for a coin from the 1950s. Now, the big question: what's the value of a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition? Well, in today's market, a penny like this typically sells for around $150 to $350. While this may not seem like a huge amount, it's important to note that the value can change depending on factors like the coin's exact grade, the overall market, and demand from collectors. Though the 1957 penny may not be as rare as some other years in the Lincoln Wheat series, its value is still significant for collectors, especially those looking to complete a full set of Lincoln Wheat pennies in high condition. Extra fine coins like this one are always in demand because they preserve the intricate details that make the coin so visually appealing. So, if you've got a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition, you're holding onto a piece of history that's definitely worth more than just 1 cent. It may not be in the hundreds of dollars like some rarer coins, but it's still a valuable find for any coin collector. Next up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark. If you think all pennies are the same, think again. This particular penny in very fine condition is definitely one you'll want to pay attention to. Let's dive into its value in today's market first. Let's take a look at the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny. On the obverse, you'll see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse, the familiar wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent. But what sets this penny apart is the D mint mark located just below the date. That means it was minted at the Denver Mint, which makes it slightly more interesting to collectors. When we say this coin is in very fine condition, we're talking about a penny that shows noticeable wear, but the details remain sharp. You can still easily make out Lincoln's features, and the wheat stalks are clearly defined. There may be some light wear on the high points, but it's in a much better condition than a coin with heavy wear. A very fine coin like this one still has plenty of visual appeal for collectors. Now, let's talk about the value. In today's market, a 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark in very fine condition is typically worth around $75 to $100. It's not one of the rarest pennies, but its value is boosted by its condition, historical importance, and the fact that it was minted in Denver. These coins are still highly sought after by collectors looking to complete their sets or add a well-preserved example to their collection. While the 1952 penny with D mint mark isn't as rare or valuable as some other Lincoln wheat pennies, it's still a significant find for any collector. Its historical significance as part of the mid-century coinage, combined with its very fine condition, makes it a great piece for anyone serious about collecting. So, if you have a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with a D mint mark in very fine condition, you're holding onto a coin with a fair amount of value for a penny that's over 70 years old. While it might not reach the hundreds of dollars like some other rarer coins, it's still a valuable addition to any collection. Thanks for watching. If you've got a 1952 Lincoln wheat penny or any other interesting coins in your collection, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin tips, market insights, and history. See you in the next video. Happy collecting!